Stand up, face Jerusalem. Take the flick your head covering off, ladies. Cover your head. Let us pray. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. The Holy One of Israel, the King of Kings, and Lord of Lords, and the Prince of Peace. Amen. Good morning. All right. What's about to happen is we are about to have competition. Well, we're having competition from the information from last week. Just please listen. Just please listen. So, be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet. So what's about to happen is, uh, so what we've been going over is the communication series. So last week I went over being slow to speak, and this week Brother Cassius have been going over lying, right? Next time I'm behind. Been going over lying. So what we're doing is we're gonna kind of next week we're gonna have a combined quiz because it's time to kind of challenge you all a little bit more. We're more than halfway done with the school year. So we need to be a little bit more challenged. So next week you should be expecting a longer length quiz. This week we're going over competition from the information from last week to try to jog you guys' memory. And we'll be doing another competition next week with what Brother Cassius went over this week and the stuff that I go over next week as well. So we're combining stuff, assuming that all this is happening involve communication and the way that we're speaking with each other. Let me go rock, paper, scissors real quick. Gia and Trey. Clap it up, 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 clap it up. Ready, set, go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Girls. Girls got number one. Girls got number one. What's this? Go. Quit messing with my queen. Uh, it's 16-14 boys. Boys are up by two. 16-14 boys. Boys are up by two. Girls can close the gap a little bit today if they win. Number one for the girls. Chapter and verse. Explain what should be no talking. Chapter and verse tells us that it's in the power of the tongue. What book, chapter, and verse tells us that death and life is in the power of the tongue? Yeah, we're gonna see who can keep up the notes. Azalea, come on down. Come on down. Come up, Azalea. Come it up. Can't be no phones out. It's Azalea. What the? What book, chapter, and verse tells us that death and life is in the power of the tongue? Verse 18:21. It's correct. It's correct. Good job. Let's read it. Let's read it. Proverbs 18 and verse 21. Go ahead, read it.
Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it, the fruit thereof.
Okay, thank you. Clap it up for that way. Clap it up, keep it up. Once again, this is what we've been talking about. What we're going to continue to talk about for the couple weeks coming is just how powerful our words are, right? Our words, you can either be utilizing your words to bring forth life and to actually be helping people and saying things. I mean, you can look at it, even when we talk about, I always like bringing up music because I make music. You can have music that, I was talking to a student, and he was telling me how literally he was listening to a song and that song put him in a certain type of mindset, right? So the words that you are putting in your mind, believe it or not, will affect you, right? So if you're putting um, words in your mind, look, that's going to lead towards life. Or if you are using good words, you can guide somebody else to more life and keep them away from wicked and evil things. But if you are spewing out wicked things, guess where you are steering them? Or guess where you are steering yourself if you're listening to wicked things? All right, so 1-0 girls, number 2 for the boys.
Right, for the boys. We read that the tongue is full of deadly what? We read that the tongue is full of deadly. Timothy, come on up. Clap it up for Timothy. Clap it up for Timothy. Clap it up for Timothy. All right, sir. Once again, we read that the tongue is full of deadly what?
Poison.
That's correct. That is correct. That is correct. All right, we're going to go James 3 and 8. James 3 and verse 8. When you get there, you go ahead and read.
But the tongue can no man's hate. It's an unholy evil, or any poison.
All right, clap it up for Timothy. Clap it up for Timothy. Sir. All right, once again, we're going over communication. So your tongue can be like a deadly poison, right? And what you say to people can ultimately, y'all know, communication with each other can affect your health. It actually could do it. But you'll be so down at what somebody else actually says to you, it actually affects you emotionally. So we have to actually watch that. Good job, good job.
Number 3, girls. A fool is looked at as wise if he does what? A fool is looked at as wise, or could be looked at as wise, if he does what? I'm going to come on down. The sex. Okay, no. A fool is looked at as wise if he or she does what?
They just stay silent.
They just stay silent. That's correct. That is correct. That is correct. Come up, come up. Let's read it. Proverbs 17. Proverbs 17. Pick it up in verse 27. Proverbs 17 and verse 27. Go ahead.
You that have knowledge, words of
Go ahead.
sincere.
Right. Once again, we were stressing about how it is important to watch what we are saying. Also has it important to be slow to speak, right? You don't want to be someone that's just always running their mouth. If you're someone that is always running your mouth, chances are you have a lack of discipline. Chances are you have a lack of self-control. You just are talking and you can't control what you are saying. Some people actually say that. They say it like it's a badge of honor. I'll say whatever comes to my mind. Well, you just have no control over yourself. You have to say everything that comes to your mind. That's the problem, right? You want to be able to govern your mind and govern your words so you are saying the right things, not just any and everything. That's why I said here, He that have knowledge beareth his words, meaning that they are going to limit their words. They are not going to just have a gang of words just to be talking. No, I'm going to say the things that really matter. I'm going to utilize my words. When I say something, it actually means something. Then it says, and a man of understanding is of an excellent spirit. Verse 28.
Even a fool, when he holds his peace, sounded wise.
It just shows you the power of you just sparing your words and being slow to speak. If you're someone that's slow to speak, you could be looked at as someone that's a thinker. You know, people that think, those are the people that are wise and smart. If you are talking, you're not doing much thinking. Just like in the classroom. If your teacher's trying to teach you something and you're in the back of the class running your mouth, chances are you're not paying attention to the information that's being taught. But if you're someone that's constantly trying to observe and soak in the game, right? But that's the thing. Even if you are just being quiet and not soaking in the game, somebody could assume, okay, that guy, he's smart. He must really be paying attention. So it's just showing you the power of just being quiet, right? Even if you ain't got no sense, people might look at you like you got some sense. If even a fool, when he is holding his peace, is counted wise, finish that.
Has shut his lips.
He that shutted his lips is esteemed as a man. If you wouldn't understand how even some the teachers here, if you are someone that can just keep their words in order, if you are a child that is well behaved and can actually control their mouth, even if you're not getting the best test scores and the smartest person, to us, you got some type of smarts that you're able to control yourself. Good job. Clap it up to Phil Affiliate. That is 2-1, 2-1. This is number 4 for the boys.
Yeah, for the boys. One book, chapter and verse. So we book, chapter, and verse tells us to speak evil of no man, but to be gentle and show meek. Once again, what book, chapter, and verse tells us to speak evil of no man, but to be gentle and show meek. One more time. What book, chapter, and verse tells us to speak evil of no man, but to be gentle and show meekness? Oops. Wisdom, come on up. Clap it up for wisdom. Clap it up for wisdom. Right, okay. Right, what book, chapter, and verse tells us to speak evil of no man, but be gentle and show meekness?
Where you click to speak.
Titus 3, Titus 3 and 1.
Titus 3 and 1. Close question.
What book, chapter, and verse tells us no man, gentle and show?
Correct.
Unfortunately, that is correct. 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 Incorrect. 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 He's not. Good try, though. Good try, though. Diane, come on up. Come on up. Girls can steal it. All right. So the question I just said again. All right. All right. Be quiet. Be quiet. Go ahead, Diane. That is correct. That is correct. Very close, though, Vincent. Very close. Well, we're going to read 1 and 2 just to let you know why 1 was not correct. All right. Titus 3 and 1. Go ahead. No. Why is there so much talking? All right, go ahead.
Principalities, so many magistrates, ready to every good work.
That's why that was not correct. Now, let's read verse 2. Go ahead.
To be no brawlers, but gentle, showing all meekness to all men.
And that is why verse 2 is correct. Clap it up for Cheyenne. Clap it up for Cheyenne. 3-1 girls.
3-1 girls, this is number 5 for the girls. 3-1 girls, this is number 5 for the girls. We read that King David prayed that the Lord set a watch before his mouth and that he keep the plank of his lips. Who is that? That's four. Hard going down. Tell them what the Lord. It's tight. Experience. All right, let's go on. You read the King David prayed that the Lord set a watch before his mouth and that he keep the plank of his lips. The door. Door of his lips. That is correct. That's correct. We're going to Psalm 141. Psalm 141. Psalm 141. Psalm 141. Pick it up at verse 3. Psalm 141 and verse. Pick it up at verse 2. Let's read 2 and 3. Go ahead. Hold on. Man, if you're not going to participate, at least be quiet. It seems like the people that don't participate be the ones talking. So it's like a double whammy. You're not paying attention and you are becoming a distraction. At least be quiet. At least. I'm sorry, what did I say? Right. So we saw how important prayer is. Prayer is, and we're going to get into prayer in a couple weeks as well. Prayer is extremely important. Why? Because it's showing God that one, you are identifying what you need to pray about, right? Pray about other people. Pray about some of your shortcomings, right? It says, let my prayer be set forth before thee as incense and the lifting up of my hands as the evening sacrifice. Verse 3.
Keep the door of my lips.
Right, so one thing that King David understood is the importance of not just letting any and everything come out of his mouth. It says, set a watch, O Lord, before my mouth. So he's praying to God for God to be able to help him control his words. So he said, Lord, if you got to put an angel or whatever you got to do to make sure that I am utilizing the proper words, or if I make sure I'm being quiet when I need to be quiet, please, God, help me with that. Why? Because he understood that death and life is in the power of the tongue. And he understands that, look, God is going to judge you based upon what you are saying. So if you just let's say, like Brother Cassius brought up earlier this week, talking about a white lie. You just think what you're saying is not a big deal. Okay. It might not be a big deal to you, but it could be a huge deal to God, especially if what you are saying are affecting other people. Right? So it's very important to make sure that you stay in line. Set a watch, O Lord, before my mouth. Keep the door of my lips. He's like, man, keep the door of my lips closed. Keep it closed, please. Thank you. Clap it up for Kamora. Clap it up. That is 4-1 girls, number 6 for the boys.
All right, number 6. A wholesome tongue is a plank, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit. The boys. Michael, come on up. Come on. Clap it up for Michael. Clap it up for Michael. All right, once again, a wholesome tongue is a blank, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit. Once again, a wholesome tongue is a blank, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit.
Let's go.
God, once again, a wholesome tongue is a blank, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit. All right, go ahead, sir. Tree of life. You don't sound confident. I'm just tired. And that's correct. That is correct. All right, Proverbs 15, we're going to start at verse 1. Proverbs 15 and verse 1. Go ahead.
Soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger.
All right, so once again, I don't always have to, people think that I got to talk and be very blunt, and I ain't nice, I'm just going to speak however I want to speak, because that's how I feel. Now, if it's not a soft answer, you're not turning away wrath. So you cannot be angry at somebody else's reaction when you don't speak correctly. Right, go ahead.
The tongue of the wise youth, the tongue of the wise youth of knowledge are right, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness.
Right, so now if you're always saying foolish stuff, if you're always saying stuff that brings up wrath, and you know you could have held your tongue, then that's foolishness. All right, go ahead.
Wise of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good.
Yeah, go ahead.
A wholesome tongue is the tree of life, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit.
Yeah, good job, good job. Clap it up for Michael. Clap it up for Michael. Clap it up for Michael. All right, once again, remember, you want to speak right to somebody. Do you know what the tree of life is allowing us to do? To live forever, right? So if I constantly talk down on somebody, guess what I'm doing? I'm not making them live forever. I'm not making them want to strive to live forever. To people, when you talk to people a certain way, that's why you notice that people tend to want to commit suicide based on what was communicated. You got to think about stuff like that. All right, good job.
That is 4-2. Girls are winning. Number 7 for the girls. What book and chapter tells us, I think the book and the chapter tells us that every idle word that man speak will come into judgment. Read the book and chapter. What book and chapter tells us that every idle word that man speak will come into judgment? What book and chapter tells us that every idle word that man speak? Tamara, come on down. Come up for Tamara. Come up for Miss Mara. What book and chapter tells us that every idle word that a man speak will come to judgment?
So,
You are correct. That is correct. Matthew 12. Matthew 12. Let's read it. So in Matthew 12 and verse 35 and 36. Matthew 12, verse 35. Catch. Very good. Verse 35 and 36. Hold on. People chit chattering. Go ahead.
so now out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things. An evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth good things.
Yeah, we went over this. It said the good man out of the good treasure of the heart, right? So remember, we compared the heart to like a treasure chest, right? Your heart or your mind is where you are collecting thoughts, right? You're collecting ways of thinking in your mind, in your treasure chest. And your treasure chest could either be filled with moth and dirt and nasty things, right? Or you can have a lot of valuable things in your mind. Obviously, the book says, look, the words of God is more valuable than rubies and gold, right? It's more valuable than money. So that is the treasure that you want to have in your mind, right? But it says once again, a good man to the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things. Very simple. 1 + 1 = 2. If you have good things in your mind, if you consume good things, the good in your mind, that's what is going to come out. Actions are going to be good. and your words are going to be good. But then it says, and an evil man from the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things. Like, it don't take a rocket science to understand if someone is saying a bunch of crazy things, just like even with children. Like, I have a daughter, right? She's very young. She gets older, she starts learning words, and then all of a sudden she get home, she starts cursing. You're like, where you get that from? Like, that's the thing. It's easy to see that you that got some information that you probably wasn't supposed to get by what's coming out. Right? You probably shouldn't be listening to things that's having you speaking crazy. You're not just speaking crazy for no reason. This is the point. Well, verse, what did I say? What verse we at? 36, read that.
Every other word that man shall speak, they shall give account thereof to give it.
And this is why it's so important to make sure that you're keeping the right treasure in your mind. Why? Because God is going to slide on you for you not being diligent in keeping your thoughts the way they need to be kept. He's going to slide on you for you just saying idle words and words that is not a tree of life, but perverse words. God is going to deal with people because of that. And we need to understand that. It's not a game. You can just say whatever and just, it is what it is. No, it is. Listen. But thank you. Coming up from there. Coming up from there. All right, that is, what's that? 5, 2, girls, number 8 for the boy.
All right, last question for the boys. What book and chapter, so we just need book and chapter, tells us that a fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it till afterwards. Yeah, come on up. Grab it up for Judah. Grab it up for Judah. All right, sir. Once again, what book and chapter tells us that a fool uttereth his mind, but a wise man keepeth it till afterwards. Keepeth it in till afterwards. All right, once again, we'll read it again. What book and chapter tells us that a fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it till afterward? I'm running down. All right, 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, this is up 10. How's the interview? That is correct. All right, quiet down, quiet down. We're going to start in verse 11. Proverbs 29 and verse 11. Go ahead. All right, so once again, a fool just utter it's a common phrase, but it's true. You know, it might seem cliche. Keep all his mind. So if you can control your words and hold back and actually think about what somebody is saying before you speak, that is a wise person. See down to verse 20 and go ahead. So if somebody is hasty and they just their mind, whatever, you're not even trying to evaluate what you actually heard. It is a fool. Bottom line. Right. All right, clap it up for Judah. Clap it up for Judah. All right, what's that?
Girls win. What's the 5-3? Girls win. 5-3. Santa Fe Jerusalem.
Stop. So I'm gonna tell you what is on the agenda for today. Physical class day. Today is rehearsal day. Okay. Everybody go to your lockers, put your stuff up, get the material that you need, and go into the